What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at player moments Forsberg. He is the first player moments that we have got, and again it's another it's not a very expensive SBC, but it's expensive for an off nation in the league, major league. Cam, another attacking player. I'm surprised we haven't had many kind of midfield, like proper mid, and then obviously defenders. We've had mainly just strikers and cams. So another one in the SBCs. We've done him. Obviously, we've tried to make a challenge and see if we can get absolutely everybody, or at least a good 90+% of the league SBC, of the player SBC, of anything that we can get that is either free or we could use money or coins for, or players. And this is another one. We have done so many of these 100k SBCs that personally I wouldn't touch them, but I think they're a big coin suck. He's an 84 rated SBC and an 85. The 85 needs one team of the week, and then the 84 needs 80 chem. So it's not necessarily that they're mega expensive, but for the time right now, plus all the other SBCs that we've had, I've probably put away 1 million coins worth of players into these. And obviously I do get a lot of untradables, so that is always a bonus that I'm not necessarily absolutely whacking coins into this. And I'm mainly building my own tradable squads. I like a big club, I like a good collection, and if I can get the player, I will. It means I get a review out. Obviously, it's been a couple of hours, so more than likely if you've done him, you've already done him by now and had a go. I want to show you how good he is, what can he do, what can't he do, and what you really want this card for. So let's get into the in-games and see how well he is. So Forsberg's in-form player moments, whatever you want to call it, the card design, practically the same as last year, looking a bit fresh, a little bit of HD on it. He is a 4-star. He is Swedish as well, playing for Leipzig. Obviously, if we had Werner, that would have been a cracking link, but unfortunately he has moved to Chelsea now. He is a medium, right-footed, 5'10", with an average body type, and honestly, I thought he was going to be good from the start. He's decent. He's a good player. We've literally just been using Malott, who, if you've not seen the review on him, go check him out. Just in case you're not necessarily doing icon swaps like for this kind of guy. Are you getting him for the Bundesliga team, potentially in icon swaps that we may need to win? Obviously then, look at Malott. He's very, very similar. We'll have a look at the end review. We'll give him a compare as like the final thing, but they are very similar. Whereas one costs 118k and the other one takes about 2 to 3 hours to complete. In terms of stats then, we've got 83 pace, which is 83 acceleration and sprint speed. We've got 85 finishing as well as shot power with 89 attack and positioning. Passing wise, exquisite with 88, 91 short, 80 long. He's got 89 crossing, 87 vision, 86 curve. The guy's got some very, very nice stats. If I was to put a basic on him, it turns him into a 91 cam with no chem style. That is literally just the basic. If I was to whack a hunter on him, it does whack him into a 90 centre forward or 89 cam. It does make him a 90 striker as well if you really wanted to. Don't think he quite has the animation, in my opinion, to be a striker, but there's always a potential that you could whack him there. If I just completely reset it, we've got 83 composure, which is good enough for me, 90 ball control, 87 reaction, 85 agility, and 89 balance. The card's got some very nice stats, like, don't get me wrong, I think the main kind of weakness with this guy is the nation. Sweden is a harder nation to kind of link to, unless you have someone like Larsson. We have got an Ibra in form who also is in the links at the final. There's no one else really. That is it. At the minute especially, there's no informs, there's no special cards that are Swedish, so you are having to either hope that A, you've got Upamecano or someone along them lines to link him to, or you kind of just whack him into a Bundesliga squad. We did have the right back, who I cannot remember how to pronounce his name. There's also Sabitzer in the final level of this season that you can go. He is only an 85, but again, he has very nice stats. But I think the one problem with him, he's very attacking as well. So if you're looking for maybe this guy to be your attacking mid and then either a centre mid or a DM, then Sabitzer probably isn't the card for you. We also have obviously Gulag. If you wanted to really whack him down into a CDM role and put him as centre back, you can link him there. He has an inform which I didn't even know about. Other than that, that's really it with this card. In terms of stats wise, very impressed. I think he's a very, very nice card from the get-go. Personally, the coins are not the problem with it. It's the sheer amount of SBCs that we've had to complete. I'd love to see how many SBCs that actually has been, as I've completed them all so far, so I'll kind of get a number of that ready for next review, and we can kind of discuss how many SBCs we've done, and I'd be interested to see how much price we've done. But let's get into some gameplay. We've looked at the stats, gameplay's next, and then we'll look at the end review. So with Forsberg, we played him in a Rivals match, managing to really get going with him straight off the bat. Literally 4 minutes in, he's already making them passes, making them runs. He's very quick on the dribble, really nice turn on him, and overall just a nice player. We get a lovely assist there, and then Forsberg managing to bang it in the bottom left, and honestly, he played wonderfully. He was a very, very good player. And like I say, I think the only thing wrong with this card is his nation. And even then, you've still got players that you can put with him. Bundesliga is not a bad league this year. So obviously there's plenty of players we can go with. In terms of shooting, hit and miss. There is a few decent shots that he had. Managed to score a couple of goals, get a couple of assists. And honestly, I think 100k is worth it for him. Whether you'd want to put all of your coins in now, seeing as though we've got La Liga Player of the Month coming up, we've got Ligue 1 Player of the Month coming up, BPL, and then also potential of the Icon SBCs coming up. There's so many SBCs coming. That's what's making this card seem A, kind of high value, and B, just a waste of time for some people. If you're not doing a Bundesliga squad, then people are thinking, what's the point? The main reason for me of doing especially all of these SBCs is I'll be ahead of the curve in terms of having a special squad or an untradeable squad for every single league. It's one thing that we saw in icon swaps last year with Ligue 1, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Premier League. They always needed 8 untradeables. So if I've already got, say, 5 or 4 special cards in each league already, I'm already ahead of the curve in terms of what we need. And yes, everyone's got, say, a Prem team, so you're going to be coming up against first team Prems, but then does that Prem team or that guy have a Bundesliga team? Does he have a Serie A team that is as good and as expensive as his Prem team? And normally, no, they don't, because they barely think about the icon swaps, and it's not kind of guaranteed that the format could be the same, but personally I don't see why it wouldn't be. I feel like it worked really well. It was a kind of a nice 4 or 5 objectives. The only thing I can think that could be different is if they do it in live foot friendlies. That's always a potential that it to be, which would make things not necessarily harder, but you'd want to play all your games of Rivals as well as foot champs, as well as live friendlies. There's going to be a lot to do if they do that. I think it could be Rivals as well, but I think my gut feeling is telling me live foot friendlies. With how much they've been pushing that game mode, I don't see it not being in there. They'll probably make a live foot friendly kind of objective. You maybe just need 1 league or something along them lines. Hopefully we'll find out soon. We have got Road to the Final coming this Friday, so no break for card reviews. We're going to go straight into them, and we should hit 100 by then. But anyway, let's get into the overall of the end review, see how he did, see who we can link with, and any alternatives we can get as we just make this run down the wing. So if we do go into the end review, alternatives, Malott, who we will have a look at as a comparison, as they're very, very similar in stats. I feel like this guy will be more beneficial, but Malott has the link and it also is free, whereas this guy, yes, he has the stats, doesn't have necessarily the link to many other leagues, but he does have a Bundesliga link, which they're not bad. I think especially with Leipzig, you can whack him with a right back, you can get Upamecano, and jobs are good. And you can practically link him with anybody then. 118k is what he's coming in at. If we just double check, 117. I've put 120 just to kind of round it off a little bit. More than likely, as we get into the weekend, as we get into rewards, this guy will be cheaper. So if you want to do him then, look at when the kind of meta, the non-meta gold cards drop in terms of the 83, 4, 5s, and then you can go pick them up for a hell of a lot cheaper, and make sure you use all of your untradables. In terms of stats, we've got a very well-rounded kind of card, as you can see. Puts him up to a very, very nice kind of stat-wise. Even with the basic, we're looking at 91s, and to be honest, the basic looks very nice itself. Gets 86 pace, 87 shooting, 91, 92 passing and dribbling, little bit of strength. you can't really argue with that. If you're going all out, a Hunter is absolutely amazing with the pace increase, and then obviously 95 finishing. The guy's going to be an absolute monster in front of goal. In terms of traits, we've got outside of the foot shot, flair, and injury prone. And in terms of generations, I think what we've gone from bronze in the, I think, the Swedish league. We've got coming into the Bundesliga, we got a team of the season, we got one that's a path to glory, a scream, and then that is a summer heat. It's the UCL knockout or showdown card that he did manage to win. So some decent cards there, nothing really too spectacular, nothing that I think, yeah, that card is like that. That's the one I want, and that is the problem with him. He's always been like that, and I think he's not going to change. This card's going to be good for a couple of weeks, good for challenges, but then that's about it. In terms of comparing then, if we just finish it off with the Malott, I feel like he's going to be a cracking kind of comparison and good in the price. As you can see, 0. In terms of stat difference then, we've got 1 more pace on Malott, 1 less shooting on Malott, we've got 2 less passing, 1 less dribbling, and then 2 less physical. Obviously defending is a little bit higher. If we go a bit into it a bit more, finishing wise, we've got a good amount there. What's the composure? That is the question. 79 on Malott, 83 on Forsberg, and that's it. You're paying for the premium, whereas what I'm telling you is Malott is a very nice, cheaper alternative because technically he's free. In terms of links, we've got Ibra, Lewandowski, Witsel, Sancho, Haaland. You can see what I mean. All of the Bundesliga's there. You can whack him with, if we just pick up the strong links, you have got this guy right here, and then also we have got Upamecano, who is probably sitting at a very whopping price. I managed to pack him on the main, and we sold him for 145 literally about 2 weeks ago, so that's a very, very nice card coming in at 240. And if we go back to Forsberg to finish it off, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I've given him an 8 out of 10, mainly because he's got the 4-star, which is nice. Good pace, I think it could be increased still. Shooting's nice, passing is brilliant, dribbling's brilliant, no strength really, and the nation. That for me is the kind of downfall of him. The price wise, I feel like maybe 100 to 90k would have been more of the price, but I can still see why he's so expensive, because he's not a bad card. But hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. I'll see you on the next one.